let's make sure that everything's working this time. Or at least it should be. This is kind of a restart. Finished up the Penumbra collection last stream, so I was going to take a break from, excuse me, the psychological horror and play something different for a little bit, but I decided I would just continue with frictional games and move into their next entry. The Amnesia series, which I think is a bit more well known than Penumbra. I heard about Amnesia before Penumbra. While getting ready for this, I did find that there is a kind of a side story. Well, there's two things I didn't know about. There is a standalone expansion slash side story called Justine, and there's also a short story collection PDF that came with the game called Remember. After doing a little bit of research, it's neither Remember nor Justine continues the main plot of Dark Descent, but I will be playing through Justine as its own stream or set of streams if it takes more than one, and I will also be doing a read through of Remember, also its own stream, so won't have to worry about watching one to catch any of the others. As this is frictional games, I am expecting a lot of atmosphere, a lot of puzzles, and little to no combat, and probably more than a few deaths. We're going to do normal here. Hard said enemies will spot you more easily. Tinderboxes and oil are harder to come by. Autosave is disabled, and saving your game costs tinderboxes. Losing your sanity will kill you. A little bit too intense for me. These games are already, I played Penumbra on normal and felt it was a fair challenge. Fair and challenge both being keywords there. Anybody that has watched or participated in my Penumbra playthroughs knows I had to consult walkthroughs to solve a couple of the puzzles. But this has nothing to do with Penumbra. This is completely different characters and setting, but same type of game and same company. So, with that said, let's get into this.
Don't forget, some things mustn't be forgotten. The shadow hunting me. I must hurry. My name is Daniel. I live in London at Mayfair. What have I done? This is crazy. Don't forget. Don't forget. I must stop him. Focus. My name is... I am Daniel.
Already the series named Amnesia seems to be appropriate since my memory seems to be going. Exactly where it's going, well, I'm sure we'll find that out. A memento has been added to the journal. For quick access to your mementos, press M. Make sure to check these whenever you get stuck. Notes. No notes are available. Diaries. No diaries are available. Mementos. Follow the liquid trail and find its source. Well, I'm gonna look around for a little bit first. Oh, moving a bit sluggish here. I don't know if that's the way I will always be moving, or... Hold down left mouse button, move the mouse in order to move the door, press right mouse button to throw the door open or shut, depending on the direction you face. Well, there we go. Picked up tinderbox. When grabbing an object, press right mouse but to throw it. Hold down R and move the mouse to rotate the object. So I did look at the controls, make sure they were set to something that was a little bit more usable. Because controls aren't quite, the default controls aren't quite what I like. So it seems to have very similar controls to Penumbra. You can light the candle, I don't know if that's necessary. At least not quite yet. Definitely a little disoriented since the, excuse me, room is kind of spinning. And like all the candles would be nice, but I have a feeling I don't have enough tinder boxes. Let's check our inventory. Tinder boxes used to ignite light sources in the environment. Journal contains all notes that have been picked up. Click to open. Oil used to keep the lantern flame alive. When it runs out, the lantern can no longer be used. Health, all is good. Sanity, crystal clear. Apparently standing still for too long is a bad idea. It was a bad idea. Tinder boxes are used to light candles and other light sources in the environment. Current number of tinder boxes is shown in inventory. I'm actually picking up a fair number of tinder boxes. Maybe I should be lighting stuff as I go. Yeah, we're gonna leave that open for the moment. I'm pretty sure that this liquid trail is blood of some kind. Well, I know it's mine. Just 1 second here. Oh, there we go. Alright, my chat function wasn't working at all. Hey Ash, how are you doing? Oh, I can manually save. That's good to know. Wish I had a glow stick. That's not me. That's game took over there for a moment. Oh, I'm here. I'm awake mostly. Yep, that's my problem. I'm dealing with a bit of a migraine. Alright, Casper, enough with the door. Oh, I can take the helmet. Tinderbox. A slight headache. Am I standing in too much dark or something? That's one thing that I heard about this one, or found out about this one, is apparently standing in the dark will cause you to lose your sanity and then things get really whacked. And figure where the frick I even am. Okay, that's the door that magically opened on its own. That's the little blood trail I'm following. Hey Prime, welcome to the stream. Glad to have you here. Figured you might be dropping in. This is usually about the point you yeah, beware when standing in darkness, your sanity will slowly drain. Turn on lights in the environment using tinder boxes or search for other light sources. Turn on at least a little bit of a light. Does not appear to be anything in here other than the tutorial. So bold of you to assume, yeah. Old archives. Huh? No way out but in. The other children cheered him on, his name voiced in a steadily rising pace, urging him to do it. Am I really doing this? The young boy thought, and struck his victim with a rock. Oh. Violence. Missing unsettling events will reduce your sanity. It can be increased by completing puzzles and making progress. Valor's become part of your morning ritual. Head is pounding and hands are shaking. Does not appear to be. Looking for something resembling light. Picked up lantern. You have picked up the lantern. When filled with oil, it can be turned on by pressing F or by selecting it in the inventory. Trying to figure out what's causing the thing to be shaking so much. It's like a castle built in frickin' California. Earthquakes. Grab something, but I can't really do anything with it. And I gotta remember from playing the earlier Frictional Games titles that they hide stuff behind things, so means I'm overturning everything looking for those tinder boxes apparently in this game. Got a much better throwing arm in this one too, which is kind of nice. Watch out for the surfer bros. Afraid I don't understand.
19th of August, 1839. I wish I could ask how much you remember. I don't know if there will be anything left after I consume this drink. Don't be afraid, Daniel. I can't tell you why, but know this. I choose to forget. Try to find comfort and strength in that fact. There is a purpose. You are my final effort to put things right. God willing, the name Alexander of Brandenburg still invokes bitter anger in you. If not, this will sound horrible. Go to the inner sanctum, find Alexander, and kill him. His body is old and weak, and yours, young and strong. He will be no match for you. One last thing. A shadow is following you. It's a living nightmare, breaking down reality. I have tried everything, and there is no way to fight back. You need to escape it as long as you can. Redeem us both, Daniel. Descend into the darkness where Alexander waits and murder him. Your former self, Daniel.
Quickly check the most recently read text by pressing N or by accessing the journal. All right. Picked up oil. Used to keep the lantern flame alive. When it runs out, the lantern can no longer be used. Apparently, unlike Penumbra, where darkness was my friend, it doesn't seem like it will be here. Hold down left mouse button and move the mouse in the direction you want to move the lever. Going that way. Entrance hall. The door slammed shut behind him, and he knew he would never again see the old tailor at Berkeley Square. Another lone soul in London seemed appropriate somehow. To run, hold down oh, great.
Alexander, is it inside the castle?
In a manner of speaking. Come, bring the lamp. You've been to the refinery, have you not?
I don't believe I have. Is it connected to the... what did you call it?
The inner sanctum. My most precious chamber, Daniel. And it lies well beyond the refinery. In fact, it lies beneath the very stone of Brandenburg.
That's not unsettling. It is tough and pliant. It can't be torn by hands or tools. Notes. Daniel's note to self. Journal. Some sort of organic tissue blocks the path to the refinery. Can it be dissolved? It won't budge. Archives. A fragrant taste of rose lingered in his mouth. Turkish delights, he thought, just like the ones at the consulate in Constantinople.
May 1839. The unflinching African sun has continued to plague our expedition, making it impossible to dig until dusk. How Professor Herbert managed to find the location in these vast plains of nothingness remains a mystery to me. When I asked him about the tomb again, he told me about the legend of Tin Hanan, the mother of us all. An interesting story in its own right, but I can't help feeling there's more. Later that evening, we uncovered a passage beneath the dunes leading to a sand-covered stone structure. The professor was confident it was the tomb we sought and ordered the others to clear the way late into the dark, cold night. Tomorrow, I shall lead the men into the ancient structure, hoping to reach the burial chamber. No matter what the professor is keeping from me, the dig should yield something interesting to take back to London and the British Museum.
Move the left stick while holding left mouse button to move objects. Sorry, had to sneeze. Can I light the fireplace? That would probably be a better light source than just the candle. Wilhelm's contract. I hereby offer my full attention and services to Alexander, Baron of Brennenburg. This contract will reign for a total of 3 years when my freedom shall return to me. In addition, Alexander, Baron of Brennenburg, is to recommend my services at the Prussian royal court and within the sanctum of the Order of the Black Eagle. May no man break this seal. Wilhelm, House of Garrick. Come on, jeez. There we go. More paperwork.
17th of May, 1839. My hands tremble as I write. I feel a need to document my tribulation, for I fear that my memory will fail me if I linger. Today, I took some men and ventured into the dark, ancient passage we uncovered. Our torches burned faintly in the murky air as we slowly made our way underground. The men were superstitious and fearful. They argued loudly, and I felt their strange language getting to me. I mustered my strength and yelled at them to continue down the slopes and broken steps. The crudely carved passage confused me. It looked much older than the 4th century structure we had expected. The twisting path emerged into a great antechamber. The walls were lined with statues unlike any I'd ever seen. Despite their unearthly quality, I felt a strange familiarity toward them, which haunts me still. At the far end of the chamber, a great slab of stone sealed off whatever lay ahead. I gave the order to raise it, and as I pushed through the narrow space, the heavy stone suddenly dropped, sealing me inside. I was trapped.
Well, clearly you made it back out, because here we are. That looks important. Gas lantern went out. Well, crap. There's no oil left in the lantern. You need to find an oil potion and use it to make the lantern work again. Oil and a tinderbox. Slight headache, all is good. I have to be a little bit strategic about my light use. Much as I'd like to just start turning everything on. run in circles here. That's alright. That room doesn't have anything. Won't open, it's locked. I have 2 tinder boxes left. Not disturbing at all. Yeah, lantern drains oil when it is turned on. To add more oil to lantern, double click on the oil item in the inventory. Nice tinderbox. Apparently whatever was on that note made me want to sit down.
1839. After pounding the unforgiving stone wall for what seemed like an eternity, I realized it was hopeless. I was trapped. I fell to the ground, gasping for air, trying to focus. That's when I saw a faint blue shimmer. My weakened body was heavy to carry, but I managed to push myself toward the enchanting light.
Very sluggish controls.
It was waiting for me. Enclosed in dark nothingness, I felt myself drawn to the mystic light. I reached out, closing it in my hands. The faint glow escaped my fingers and began to spark brightly and spirit me away, unlocking alien memories of spiraling towers, endless deserts, and impossible geometry. The next thing I can remember is the grating sound of stone being lifted, the voices of the Arabs pulling me to safety, and grasped firmly in my hands was the broken pieces of a most peculiar relic.
Kingdom of Prussia. Central Prussia. Fragile, but not breakable by hand.
Much of the castle is old and hasn't been tended to for centuries. When the shadow arrives, it won't take long until things start falling apart.
We're just buying time anyway. Let's do what we can.
There isn't much to be done about the walls. We should reinforce weak structures. The ground will tremble, and there's a risk everything will cave in on us, especially downstairs. Here, and there. Let's get the servants working on it.
So apparently whatever this living nightmare / shadow is was known to both of them. East Wing, Western Hall. And apparently they tried fighting it, or at least holding it off. And for whatever reason, I'm now supposed to kill the other guy. That was not me playing the piano. His name is Rick. He's really nice. Journal. Must find a new way out of this area. The door leading to the local history room is locked. Is there another entrance? So, okay. Physics controls are much easier. They were a bit wonky in Penumbra. I've already went through this. So this whole thing is apparently caved in. Not breakable by hand. Well, apparently breakable by throne.
You have to be swift when you activate the first one. You hear that? If it stops, you'll have to start over.
Isn't all this a bit excessive?
You can never be too careful, Daniel.
Staircase through, or the bookcase through a box, because it was in the way. Still wish I could light the fireplaces. Oh, a key. And something else I'm sure just caved in. Regarding closing of the wine cellar, Wilhelm and his fools have endangered my research long enough with their absent-minded handling of the human vessels. The sheriff is keeping a watchful eye on the forest and is killing my trusty servants. It's just a matter of time until they follow the trail to Brennenburg. I need to lock Wilhelm and his men up to avoid further investigation from the police. The wine cellar will therefore be sealed off until the matter has been handled. Either the king's men leave or they will starve. Whatever comes first, they can rot for all I care. Maybe I will feed them some wine. It would in a sense solve both of my problems. I have a feeling that the wine is poisoned. Local folklore. Allstadt and Brennenburg Castle, 1801. Another region rich with lore is Allstadt, deep within the East Prussian woods. For centuries, there have been stories surrounding the hamlet and its neighbor, Castle Brennenburg. The quiet, forest-clad mountains, dressed with scattered lakes, is as picturesque as can be, albeit the area is haunted by the dark. Ask any local, and you will hear proof of the widespread superstition. All travelers should indulge themselves in such conversation, since it will certainly serve as exciting entertainment. Excuse me. All of them have their own twists on the tale, but there are some motifs that keep reappearing. The Gatherers. This story reaches all the way back to the time of the 30 Years' War. It is said that soldiers who abandoned their duty got lost in the cold, dark woods and were forever damned to roam the grounds. Their bodies, wrought by their tainted souls, have left them disfigured and empty of essence. Many have cited them over the years and described them as horrid revenants. They move silently through the woods, shying away from any beholder. They are called gatherers, as they seem to follow some ambition to steal living creatures. It is their prey which can be heard struggling inside damp burlap sacks dragged behind them, which reveal their presence. What dark scheme do they follow? A Visit Undone. Heinrich Cornelius Agrippa, the well-known erudite, visited Allstadt at the start of the 16th century. He resided in the local inn for a fortnight as he looked for remnants of kingdoms past. During his stay, all the prominent members of society paid notice, and he is mentioned in many records of the time. One day he went to investigate a burrow in the northwestern glades, only to never be seen again. Heinrich is known to have passed away in Grenoble some 10 years later. He dismissed the notion of ever visiting Allstadt, which makes you wonder what really happened. Who is this mysterious man who visited the sleepy hamlet in the woods, and what happened to him? The Immortal Baron. The Baron of Brennenburg lives a reclusive life with his family at his castle nearby Allstadt, and like most those of noble birth, rumors are inherited alongside with the title. Researching the history reveals little before the castle was consumed by fire in the late 16th century. It was rebuilt by Alexander, a nobleman from the Rhinelands, claiming the role as protector of the Prussian state. Alexander helped the region to flourish and remained popular throughout his presumed lifetime. The family has always been secretive when it comes to lineage and heritage, therefore the birth and death of Alexander and his offspring has never been fully recorded. This has fed the idea that the Baron is in fact the one and the same who came from the west over 300 years ago, lived through the time of occupation, and joined the coveted Order of the Black Eagle along with the great leaders of this country. Alright then. So I might be dealing with an immortal for all I know. and I'm supposed to kill him. Somehow I feel like stake through the heart is not going to be enough. How do I keep getting into these messes? Oh, well, I was probably... Can I move this? Or was it... Oh no, it was... My hand probably lit up for the, yeah, the rock. I was like, was I supposed to use that to stand on? All is good. Slight headache. Still need to find a way out of here, because that's collapsed. That's collapsed. I got the key. Only thing I can think of is maybe the wine cellar is the door over here that won't open. Oh, no. There we go. Oh, that's what it is. Okay. Getting myself turned around. Not good. Still a matter of this little trinket. Have to do something with that later, I'm sure. I bet yelling at the entity in German or Latin will work wonders. Do not use this item in this way. Wow, there's an exclamation point at the end of that. Somebody is upset. Sweet as the ball rock, yeah. Yeah, I'd rather not go that way. The statues were praying, gazing into the dark, domed ceiling. Ow, what the hell? My sanity get too low or something? Ow. Don't stand on that shit, apparently. How many tinder boxes do I have? 4. laboratory, wine cellar. The sand gave way to his tired body as he fell from the camel's back. He felt the wind gently sweep across his face and his dry, crusted lips. Oh, great whispers. I think I'm going about this all wrong. The desert dunes were like waves in a sluggish sea. While the caravan moved, the land appeared motionless, but in camp, the hills moved. I started going through doors and poking around in corners, and there's plenty of open space all ready for me to explore. I feel like I should do that first. That's probably my blood. Not going that way just yet. So right now choices are the wine cellar or the laboratory. Since I got the key for the wine cellar, I think that's the next direction I need to go. Probably can't light that, can I? Nope. Use the key. Okay. Use the key. A handful of sand trickled from their crumbling stone ceiling and pushed down on the brim of his hat. He braced himself as the cavern suddenly shifted and tilted. Yet beware, when staying in darkness, your sanity will slowly drain. Turn on lights in the environment using tinder boxes or search for other sources of light. Great.
Till tomorrow!
This shouldn't be.
Be forewarned, adventure. Anything and everything will make you insane and die. Oh, yeah, I know that. I have a feeling the tinder boxes are meant. This barrel contains a few drops of oil. Refilled lantern with a few drops of oil. Barrel contains no oil. Can't tell if that's a tinderbox or just the... Nope. Last one. Got a text message here. My better half was texting me. Um,
What's happening? Oh, it feels like my chest is going to burst. Oh,
Excuse me.
My God! Wilhelm, do something!
Except we're not getting out of here.
How can you say that? Alexander, you piece of shit! Let us out of here!
I think there was a way to turn on developer commentary. Yeah, that little dot there, that helps. Blood just everywhere. Wilhelm's last words. My name is Wilhelm, House of Garrick. These are my final words, my confession and testament. 2 years ago, I was summoned to the Castle Brennenburg. As most of the aristocracy, I was curious about what this supposed knight of the order could want from me, and accepted the invitation. The Baron was friendly and offered me a proposition. It dawned on me that the nature of the contract was sordid, and that the reason I was chosen was because of the follies of my past and not the honors I've been rewarded with during my time as a soldier. I was to kidnap healthy humans upon his slightest whim and do so without asking questions. In return, he would attest to my character at the royal court, advancing my position within noble society. I would like to claim that I struggled with my decision, but it came swiftly and I accepted wholeheartedly. Ever since that day, I've brought men, women, and children to Brennenburg. I can't remember the numbers, but there were many, perhaps even 100, none of whom were ever seen or heard from again. Tonight, the Baron invited me and my men down to the wine cellar to celebrate our work. I had my suspicions as we descended the stairs, but he insisted and joined us in a toast. The wine tasted fine, and my men drank without restraint. So begins the punishment for our sins. The Baron has locked us up and returned upstairs. Forgive me for what I have done. I was weak and fell into his diabolical ways. My men are screaming, their skin has been pierced by their own tangled bones. I feel my insides revolting against their God-given nature. Blood has begun to pour from my eyes, and I can no longer... Alright. Aqua Regina. So I've got Calamine and Aqua Regina, which Aqua is water, Regina, the Latin escapes me at the moment. have any tinder boxes. Oh, if I play this game, I want developer commentary. Goodness, my ears are bleeding now. First you're too quiet, then it gets hella loud. I'm sorry. Let's go back up here for a moment. Stand sort of in light while I can figure out what the frick I'm doing here. I think commentary would be hilarious. Probably better than my own. Some sort of organic tissue blocks the path to the refinery. Can it be dissolved? Burning through oil and tinder box is not good. Refinery. Yep, can't go that way. Wrong button. After enduring 3 days in Algiers, a sailboat was finally arranged to take him across the Mediterranean Sea to Gibraltar. Having reached British territory, it was just a matter of reserving a cabin on SS Hortensia, headed for London. That one I can't pick up. This I can, though. I should say I can pick it up, I can't open it. Any other boxes back here? Oil. That one I can open. More papers. Chemical oh, this is what I needed. Chemical relocation. The lack of a chimney to properly vent the fumes from my most recent experiments has taken its toll on many of my less stable ingredients in storage. Some seem unaffected, but many are stained by the fumes and will be difficult to salvage. I shall do what I can and move them to the wine cellar. Four different chemicals are needed to continue, which means there's one more that I'm looking for. And instructions on how to use them. It's probably going to be what dissolves that organic residue.
There should be more coop rats. Let me see. And one part aquafortis.
Chemistry pot. Early alchemy experiments. This is my third attempt to produce artificial vita. I think that's blood. Former compounds lack the potency I need, but I sense I'm close. Calamine and orpiment are given, and the cuprite binds them well. This time I'll attempt aqua regina instead of aqua fortis in hope it will produce a more even solution. The experiment was unsuccessful. The solution is highly acid and proves impractical put to any use except as a detergent. Organic tissue reacts especially violently to the solution and should be handled with the greatest care. I might be able to use the recipe, but I'm losing hope that I will find an alchemical solution to my predicament. I just found an alchemical solution to my predicament. Sounds like I need to go back to the wine cellar. Oh! One day I will return. If it wasn't for the thought of you, my love, I wouldn't be able to go on. When I find myself doing terrible things, I take comfort in you. As long as I am able to think of you and long for a life together, I know I'm better than the others. I weep for them. They lust for power without restraint, where I only crave fair judgment and a safe return. I'm guessing those are like the little alien boxes that were in the words fail me now. Penumbra. Yeah. Back to the wine cellar. It became impossible to avoid. The commotion in the streets begged for his attention. As he opened the shutters, the French soldiers opened fire on the two young men fighting back. Their voices were silenced in a haze of gun smoke. The cloth smelled of desert and damp musk. The pieces lay scrambled on top. Too many of them, he thought, or perhaps too few. Right, I'm looking for one more chemical. I found 3 out of 4. I guess it's going to be behind some of these barrels. I'm going to turn that on though. Yeah, it was my last one. My suspicions were incorrect. Shut up and let me in. There's gonna be some way in there. An enemy is near, stay out of sight and hide in the darkness. Make sure to turn off your lantern if possible. I'd love to get my hands on right now is tinderbox. That's why. After enduring 3 days, oh yeah, I already read this one. Yeah, sanity took a hit, I'm sure. Yep. A few cuts and bruises. I need orbiment. I need lights to quit going out. I am going to take a quick break here. Alright, let's get back to this. I need our tinder boxes. Or oil. Head is pounding and hands are shaking, yeah. Back in the laboratory for the moment. He sat down by the Casbah wall, gasping for air. Sweat poured from his forehead and onto the sand-veiled ground. Even a single tinderbox would be helpful at this point.
It's so cold. Nothing in here, unfortunately. Oh. Of course, everything is collapsed. I guess this is my new save point at the moment. Stairs have collapsed. Find a way to climb back up. Evidence in the laboratory has revealed that combining 4 chemicals can create powerful acid. Some sort of organic tissue blocks the path. Well, yeah, that's what I'm working on, is the acid. But I have to get back up there.
Yeah, tell me about it. Come to this conclusion on your own, did you? Fortunately, I don't think this lantern is going to last me too long. For whatever reason, all the barrels are restacked. I'm pretty much out of oil. Lovely. That was nice. Of course, it didn't contain that earlier. I wonder if it slowly refills over time, like if there's a leak or something somewhere. Who knows? Looking for one last vial of something. A lot of stuff is reset.
nothing left. Everything is gone.
Not everything. Ouch. Hold down left mouse button, do a circular motion with the right stick to turn the wheel. The wheel will turn in the same direction as you rotate. Picked up pot of acid. Going back that way.
It sure is dark in here.
Yes, and there's a good reason for it. But you can light the lamp now if you wish.
What's the reason? For the darkness, that is.
Stay close. Be careful not to stray.
What's the reason? Why is it so dark?
Pay attention, Daniel. It's important that you keep going straight and make sure not to stray.
Semi-safe room at this point, assuming they can't just break down the doors. Keep going straight, but I can't really keep going straight considering it branched.
June 1839. It's been more than a month since my last entry. After the event inside the underground chamber in Algeria, Professor Herbert insisted I return to England. He said he didn't want to risk forfeiting the entire expedition lest I took a turn for the worse. An excessive decision, in retrospect. But I'm glad it turned out that way. I found my journal this morning in the haphazard collection of things brought home from Africa. Next to it lay the broken stone orb wrapped in cloth. I tried to assemble it, but couldn't. The pieces wouldn't fit together, as if they weren't from the same object. Could I have imagined it all? Was there ever a complete orb?
Blocked from the other side. Not going to use that just yet. Ow. Right, can't stand on that stuff. Wound is bleeding badly. A few cuts and bruises. Stuck, something is clogging the crank and pulley contraption. Can't open those. Got a few more lights though. Rope won't pull the hatch open. Something must be clogging the pulley. I still need this later, apparently, so we'll hang on to that. Build it up completely. Hope it wasn't a waste. We'll find out soon enough. Both doors are slammed closed.
25th of June, 1839. I feel the need to continue this journal, even though it was intended for my journey to Africa. This must be something very important. I just know it. I've taken it upon myself to piece the orb back together, but it's been more difficult than one might think. The pieces are behaving strangely. They seem to change colour, shape, and texture, but ever so slightly. Yesterday, I took careful measurements and notated any significant markings. Today, I confirmed my suspicions. They were changing. I was terrified and rushed off to see the finest geologist in London, Sir William Smith. I approached the subject with care and we discussed how rocks change form. He told me about the nature of glass, how it eventually collapses on itself, like ice slowly melting over the course of centuries. Smith eased my mind a bit, but I can't escape the feeling that these shards have otherworldly properties.
Full circle. So I need something. That will open.
What is this?
this is back at the entrance. Off to go lay cement. He crashed through the surface. The dark Atlantic waters smothered him as he struck home. Went too quick. Well, thanks for dropping in, Prime. Good luck at work. That's not good. Well, I was thinking about calling it because I've been going for about 2 hours. I think here is probably as good a place as any. This seems like a next level. But, yep. Oh, so thank you to everybody that dropped in, Prime and Ash, and anyone else that was just lurking. And I will continue this probably tomorrow. But thanks for dropping in, and I will see you next time.